Hi everyone,
Hi,
it's Jordan.
and Deb.
How y'all doing?
Happy New Decade!
Happy 2020, everybody.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
Hope everyone had an awesome new year.
yes. Hope everyone is abundantly blessed this year. I hope everyone's dreams get realized. Want the best for all of you.
Most definitely. So yeah, happy new year. Have a great day. First start of the new year and the new decade as well. So putting a lot of positive, good vibes out for everybody today. So we could
Yes.
start the decade off lit. On fire, you know.
On fire.
Last night we went to a meditation at the Upaya Zen Center.
From 10 till midnight.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Very powerful. They had names on the altar of individuals that died wrong deaths, like officers that were shot,
trans people who were murdered.
Black people who were shot by police wrongly. Well, of course it's wrongly, but honoring all those that lost their lives in a way that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And then they burned them in the fire at midnight. So it was very powerful.
It was almost as if like there was like a release almost with like burning like the names as well as just like the overall like last 2 hours. Actually 2 hours and 45 minutes to be exact, was because we got to the center at like quarter after 9. We got there pretty early because there was a lot of people there. We were actually pretty shocked at how many people showed up. But I guess, you know, there's a big spiritual community here in Santa Fe, so there's like just a lot of people there. Yeah, it was really intense to like meditate on the last few hours of 2019, and then, you know, after the fire happened, and then all of a sudden, like when the midnight came, it almost felt like new, like brand new.
Yeah, it was definitely amazing. And we spent about an hour and a half yesterday listening to a meditation that Reverend Anna Jones, she's on Facebook. If any of you know her, she channels Archangel Michael at the equinoxes and the solstices. So we listened to her message. And one of the things that we wanted to bring to you all with the beginning of 2020, a lot of people are talking about New Year's resolutions. And I think that's why Jordan and I went to meditate, because sometimes we don't carry through with resolutions. So we want to put our intentions into what we want for 2020. And one of the things Reverend Anna was talking about, or that Archangel Michael was talking about through Reverend Anna, was dream, intend, imagine, manifest. And he was saying resolutions sometimes don't work. What do you resolve to do this year? Which I thought was pretty powerful, with bringing in the new year and listening to it on New Year's Eve, because we kind of fell asleep on the solstice listening to it.
Her voice is very relaxing, so it was really easy to fall asleep.
So yeah, we've been thinking about, and I'm sure all of you have too, is, you know, this is a new decade. What is it that we want to happen in our lives this decade? I feel my son will probably kill me for saying this, but he used to joke around. It was even on his answering message on his cell phone when he first got one, was, you know, you reached Jesse. If you can dream it, you can do it. And basically it's the truth. If you can dream it and smell it and see it and almost taste it, it's going to happen.
Right.
Just release how it's going to happen and just know it's going to happen. Let the universe, God, force, do it. And you just keep dreaming.
Yeah. And it's also like, you know, the most powerful thing to think about also, which, we're still learning, of course, is definitely when it comes to like manifesting and dreaming and things like that, is to not doubt it. And that can be difficult at times, because we're so ingrained to only believe what's physically around us. Like, yeah, this brush is real, I'm holding it, like it's a real thing. But let's say, for instance, there's a different brush in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I really want that brush. I want to see if I can possibly get that brush, and I'm gonna like put that out there. I'm gonna get that brush, and it's gonna like find its way to me. And like that could be really difficult, but at one day it's like, oh wow, that brush came. What? And then, it happens. That's like a really weird way of describing it, but
if there's 3 words that have been repeated to me by Spirit since 2015, it's trust, believe, and know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm constantly hearing those 3 words, and sometimes it's hard for us to trust because in our society, we're not taught how to let go. We're taught to hold on to everything so tightly that we don't allow the miracle of God to take place. So it's through letting go that we're able to sit back and just trust that it's coming. We don't even put out how it's going to be, how it's going to come into fruition, how it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Just know and believe that it's going to trust.
Yeah.
That it's going to happen.
I have the perfect story. It was so much better than this brush analogy. I have a perfect story. I just thought of it. So, I remember I was like between jobs. I think this was like June-ish. It was somewhere around there. But yeah, I was like in between like 2 jobs. And I was unemployed, like looking for a job or whatever. And I had like no money. And being in Baltimore City with no money can be a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, like, because, you don't have any money to buy food. And that can be a little nerve-wracking. And it was just one of those times where I didn't tell anybody that I had no money at this given time. Because I didn't want to be like a burden to anybody. So I'm walking around my block or whatever, and I'm just kind of like stressing mad hard because I'm like, I have nothing. I think I have 5 cents, but other than that, I didn't have anything. And I was just like, I just was like talking to the universe and was like, okay, I am aware of my situation right now. I'm aware that I have no money, and I'm aware I have no food. Like, I have nothing right now until, I guess, check comes, whatever. Like, I'm aware of this. And I'm sure it's going to be fine because I know you're going to take care of me. So, I'm walking around the block again, or a different part of that block. I can't even remember. I was somewhere in Charles Village. I'm like walking around and stuff, just, keeping my mind busy. And lo and behold, there were $2 bills laying on the ground. Now, that's really weird because people usually don't carry cash with them anymore. So I'm just like, okay, I can get some bagels with this because bagels are like 70 cents, and I can get I can get so much for $2, so I was like so happy. And that actually lasted me until, I guess, like my last check from my job came or something. I was like so grateful. And then like I thought about this recently when, like our funds kind of like ran pretty low one day, and lo and behold, like things worked out like within like a few hours. So definitely trusting is really important when it comes to manifesting, because like when we get scared, that's when we're not able to hear source. And that can throw us in a loop, right? You know, because that's what fear does. It throws us in this weird loop. And then when you get to a certain point where you're like, well, I'm in this situation. I'm exactly in this situation. I know my circumstances. I'm going to learn from it, and this is where I need to be right now. That's the acceptance of it. And then when you accept it, that's when things start to kind of happen.
And a lot of people, I notice, are afraid to accept help. They feel like it's a sign of weakness. And I know sometimes it's hard for me to ask for help, but I've been accepting help. I know after I gave my business up, I had no money. And Spirit would guide me to walk places on certain days, and I'd find $5 bills, $10 bills just laying in the parking lot, nobody around. And I just felt like, it's, pennies from heaven. And like Jordan said a couple weeks ago, I'm waiting for an insurance check that was supposed to be here like 6 weeks ago. Yeah. Hasn't shown up, and it's a lot of money. But it's going to be delayed. And lo and behold, one morning, I think we had we had an orange and walnuts and like 59 cents. I was a little rattled, but Jordan was like, trust, believe, know. She's using my words on me. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to listen, because that's what I've been preaching since 2015. And sure enough, an hour later, somebody got a hold of us and said, hey, how y'all doing? Do you need any money? And it's like, bam. So the universe does work for you when you trust and you believe and know.
Yeah. Like,
and know you're never alone.
That's definitely important, because I've been there. Definitely knowing that you're not alone is, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. There's a huge difference. Being alone is like the physical aspect. And then it can get pretty deep too. Like you can be spiritually, emotionally, mentally alone too. But being lonely is like the desire to have people with you, where being alone is like going through the motions of being by yourself.
But even though you're by yourself, you're never alone.
Yeah, you always have like...
You have Spirit, you have God looking out for you.
You have the earth. The earth is a huge, huge support system.
Your ancestors. So whatever you're going through, know that you're not alone. And whatever your situation is, just trust, believe, and know that everything's going to work out. And you don't have to know how it's going to work out. And we need to let that go, because we want to know. It's just our programming and how we were raised. Like, you need to know where this is coming from. And sometimes you just need to let it go. And what is it? Let go and let God. So...
I was feeling a little distraught for a little bit, because I am so used to creating that, car camping prevents being able to create artwork.
And cold weather.
In cold weather too. Jeez, that's another thing. Because if it was like warm out, I wouldn't, pardon my French, I wouldn't give a shit. I would just go out on like a picnic bench and like create something. But it's been bitter cold and too cold to create outside. So, yeah, for a while there, I was like going a little like, man, I really want to create, but I'm being forced not to. But I really want to, and I feel like I need to. And then lo and behold, like I made some decent tips at my job, and I was able to afford paper finally. And we've been staying at a place for a few days, so that's been helping me so much. There have been
quite a few angels that have been helping us along the way with helping us to stay out of the cold. So
at least the extreme cold, which is it's like really really beneficial being able to stay in shelter for a few days. You know, because, you know, we're able to rest and be warm, eat food, and definitely, like, just, I've been, like, creating, like, nonstop. Like, it's been actually kind of difficult to do this video because there's a piece I'm working on right now and I keep looking at it and it's like there's so much I can do to this right now. Well, I want to do this.
This is one that she did, what was it, earlier today.
Yeah, I've been working on like 3 or 4 pieces today.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's a lotus. So, anyway.
And then there's this one too. I've been doing these really cool like mindful paintings, and it's just like watercolor. And before, I didn't add the drips to it, but this one has drips and it looks really weird. Anyway,
we just wanted to see how y'all are doing. Wish you a happy new year, new day, new decade.
Happy life.
Yes. And know that 2020 is going to bring amazing things for everyone. The energy that is coming in is going to be very healing. Mm-hmm. It's going to bring changes to each of us. And it's going to just wait and see the differences and the miracles that are going to happen.
Yep.
So,
my final notes are, I know that there are so many emo kids emerging, like, or I guess re-emerging now since My Chemical Romance got back together. And I must say that I'm so pleased because, you know, I'm seeing all these, like, emo children just, like, coming out of the cave or something with their hair. And oh, I love you guys. That's all I want to say.
Okay, that's her final note. My final note is we love you and we wish you all the best. Abundant, infinite blessings for 2020. Love you.
Love you guys. Bye.